Hello everyone and welcome to My Ranger Experience. My name is Daniel Coffeen and I'm a Medical Service Corps officer in the Army. If you haven't seen my last video where I give the overview of Ranger School and what this series is about, make sure you click the link right here and watch that video first. So let me preface this video first by saying in my last video, I did not emphasize how important it is to memorize the Ranger Creed before you go to Ranger School. So keep that in mind. Make sure you have the Ranger Creed memorized. Okay, so the title of this video is my top 10 recommendations for the Ranger School packing list. So the Ranger School packing list in its entirety is about 76 pages long. As you can see on the screen here, it's pretty ridiculous. There's over 100 line items of gear that you're going to need to bring with you from your home duty station to Fort Benning. For those of you who are in the Army, you will recognize most of this stuff and probably have most of it because when you come into the Army, you are issued most of this equipment at your Central Issuing Facility, or CIF. However, some of these items you'll have to purchase on your own. So I'm kind of an anomaly. I'm a Medical Service Corps officer, I didn't have a lot of this equipment, so unfortunately I had to purchase a lot of this stuff on my own. So let's get right to it. These are my top 10 recommendations for the Ranger School packing list. These are in no particular order, but they are all equally important. Your feet are your best friend in Ranger School, so do not skip out on boots. I wore the Rocky SV2s, and I'll put a picture of those on the screen, the entire time through Ranger School. Now the Rocky SV2s, some of you are probably cringing because these are really bulky, heavy boots, but for me they were great because I have kind of weak ankles. They provided a lot of ankle support, and they were fairly insulated, so my feet didn't get as wet as fast. I mean, my feet were soaked every single day, no matter what. But the SV2s kept the water out. A lot of people will recommend Nike boots, Garmonts. There are tons of different boots out there that you can choose from. I went with the SV2s and I really enjoyed them. Equally as important as boots are your socks. Do not skimp on socks either. Do not just wear your regular Army issued green or black socks. Invest in your feet. That's the best thing I can tell you. Invest in your feet. I spent about 150 bucks on socks. I had some Under Armour ones, they were okay, but I had the Rocky socks and I really enjoyed those. As you can tell, we are going to have a theme here for your feet. Foot powder is incredibly important. It's incredibly important because you need to keep your feet dry as much as possible. It's going to be nearly impossible to keep your feet dry when you're walking through swamps and lakes and rivers and whatnot, but the times when you're not doing that, applying foot powder like every hour on the hour is absolutely necessary. Not only do you need to add foot powder to your feet and socks to keep your feet dry, but I would recommend putting it on your neck, putting it under your arms, in your groin area, anywhere where there is unwanted moisture. You need to keep those areas dry. You want to prevent chafing, you want to prevent rashes, you want to prevent all of that stuff, so foot powder will be your best friend. Suspenders. In Darby, and especially in mountains, you're going to be losing a lot of weight, especially if you come into Ranger School kind of heavy like I did. I came in about 210 pounds. I left 65 days later at about 160 pounds, so quite a significant weight drop. And when you drop weight, your clothes don't fit very good. Yeah, these things look kind of silly, but they help keep your pants up, and that's one less thing you have to worry about when you're running through the forest or navigating through a swamp. Suspenders. Tip number 5, your weapons cleaning kit. Of course you have to bring a weapons cleaning kit. You're gonna be firing a lot of weapons, therefore cleaning a lot of weapons. But the two most important things within that weapons cleaning kit that I used more than anything was a piece of steel wool to knock all the rust off of your weapon. You're gonna be moving through a lot of moisture, a lot of rain, a lot of water, so your weapons will rust up really quickly, and the RIs really don't like it when there's rust on your weapons. There's just gonna be tons of dirt inside your weapon, all over your weapon, and so having a barber's brush to be able to just knock all that dirt off is something that is also incredibly important. Okay, illumination tape. So basically what this is, it is an adhesive tape that glows in the dark. I would recommend having a big roll of this. Usually your supply sergeant has it, so you can get it from him or her before you go to Ranger School. And basically what you're gonna do with this is you're going to take this and you're gonna put it on anything and everything that you want to be able to find at night. It's gonna be pitch black at night, and you're gonna be running all over the patrol base looking for stuff, looking for people. So if you can put illumination tape on your Ranger handbook, on your shooting stakes, on your knife, on your weapons cleaning kit, anything you wanna find at night, you really, really wanna put illumination tape on this. Another tip would be to make your patrol base sketches, make those on illumination tape so that you can see those at night as well inside of your patrol base. Or basically lamination paper is another way of saying this. This is something that you're going to need a lot of. So same thing as illumination tape, get a big roll from your supply sergeant before you leave your home station. And what you're gonna do with this is anything that you want to be able to basically turn into a dry erase board, you're gonna put acetate paper over it. You're gonna laminate it so that you can write on it with markers, and then you can erase it with alcohol. Also, you wanna put illumination tape on any type of document that you don't want to get ruined by water. So most people will put lamination paper on their Ranger handbook, they will put it on index cards, they will put it on their sector sketches, anything that they want to retain for a long period of time and not have to worry about it getting damaged by water. So when you're in Ranger School, in every single one of your packing lists, you are mandated to have a towel. You can buy these tiny little microfiber towels. They're just lightweight, they absorb things quickly, and really, you don't really use towels that much in the field, so it's just kind of one of those things that they make you have to add extra weight to your pack. So by having this smaller towel, it allows you to keep your load lighter, but still meet the requirement of having a towel. And then you can use it whenever they let you take showers and stuff, which is very rarely, unfortunately. Tip number 9 is about keeping things waterproof. And so having gallon Ziploc baggies is going to be really, really important. You're gonna be going through a lot of water, a lot of swamps, a lot of rivers, a lot of streams, a lot of just bodies of water that you're gonna be asking yourself, why am I in this body of water? And there's just not a good answer for it. But you're gonna have a lot of electronics with you, and you're going to need to keep them waterproof. Electronics include stuff like night vision goggles, headlamps, flashlights, GPSs, just stuff like that that you don't want to get wet. You need to put it in a Ziploc bag. So also, like on a grander scale, when you're going through those bodies of water, you're also gonna have your rucksack on, and you don't wanna get your uniforms and all of your stuff inside your packing list wet either. And yeah, the Army gives you a waterproof bag, but it's usually filled with holes and doesn't work very well. So having a 4mm thick contractor bag, quite a few of those, and being able to wrap all of your stuff that's inside your rucksack in that contractor bag will keep all that stuff nice and dry. Even when your rucksack is completely submerged in water, no water will get through that contractor bag if you tie it up correctly. Basic Leatherman with pliers, a knife, a serrated knife, a can opener, just a very, very basic Leatherman that you can use to work on things. It's gonna be a tool that you're going to use for multiple different things, hence the name. So it's always good to just have one of those on you. So those are my top 10 tips for the Ranger School packing list. Like I said, it's 76 pages long in its entirety, and if I went through all of those items line by line, this would be a very long video. So what I've done is I have taken the Ranger School packing list and I have put my notes and recommendations next to every single line item, and I have uploaded that to a Google document, which you can find the link to in the description box. Anyone can go on there, can look at my notes and just kind of see what I did. Like I said in the last video, these are just my recommendations. Please do not take them as the be-all, end-all. These are just my recommendations, what worked for me 3 years ago, and hopefully they work for you.